Hey everyone, welcome back. This is video number 2 of Ergo at home and how it is that you set up your workstation at home, whether you're at your kitchen table, your home office, or sitting on your couch. And no matter how it is that you're working at home, I really want to give you the opportunity to feel good, look good, and of course work good. So in this second video, after we've of course completed the first video with the introduction to what we're going to be doing during this video series, the hope is that you've now completed boxes 2, 3, and 4 of that workbook on page number 2. And we're now going to move into a general understanding of what neutral positioning is, because there are two, count them two, main outcomes from this course: that you understand what neutral positioning is and how it is that you can set up your workstation at home to achieve neutral positioning, and number 2, that you're able to change position regularly throughout your day. So this section is all about understanding neutral position. And there's going to be 3 ways that we can understand neutral position and how we want our body to be set up. So we're going to start with this one. Can I get everyone to stand up at your computer, please? Okay, are you all standing? Because if you're not, you're going to want to stand up. Because we're not all together in a room. I might be at 717 Portage right now, but I'm not with you. So you're going to want to stand up for this. One of the ideas that we have to consider when we're talking about being comfortable is regularly moving. So standing up and being able to work in a standing or a sitting position. If you're on the phone, being able to make a phone call and stand up while you're making a phone call. Find strategies. So this is a strategy. Let's all stand up. Okay, you're all standing up now. I want you to look down at your feet. Now draw an imaginary circle around your feet. Okay, you have an imaginary circle around your feet. Okay, so this first idea is posture. Now, when I was working at the office, I would always make a joke. Now, I'm not going to be the posture police. I'm not going to walk by your workstation and say, hey, sit up straight. That's not what I do. But we're going to learn what posture is and how it is that it's defined. So this first idea, that circle around your feet, is called base of support. The second idea of posture and how it is that we figure out what posture is called the joint center of gravity. Now most people understand center of gravity from your belly button straight down. That's the center of the center of gravity of your entire body, right? But every single one of your joints, your elbow, your shoulders, your knees, everything has a center of gravity. And when we're in a neutral position, those arrows that point down from that center of gravity are going to fall on your base of support. So let's say that I'm just standing in a neutral position, my arms at my side. That's my arrow. That arrow goes straight down and hits the side of my foot. Remember that base of support, that circle around your feet, is right beside the side of my foot. So right now my shoulder is in a neutral position because that center of gravity hits the base of support. When you take a look at this picture of the person sitting, the person weightlifting, and this person working at a car, you can see that they are all in a position that puts their center of gravity right over top of the base of support, which allows them to sit in a neutral position and minimize the amount of strength that gravity has pulling on different parts of their body. So that's the first idea of understanding neutral positioning. We want to try to get the different parts of your body in such a way that everything is falling over top of the base of support. All right, you can sit down again if you have not already done so. Here's the second idea, and hey, look, we're going to talk about sitting now, so sitting makes sense. So as you sit in your chair, I want you to imagine that our goal is to get every joint on your body, such as your elbow, your hips, your knees, and your ankles, to somewhere between 70 and 110 degrees. I usually just say 90 degrees, so that's not a 90 degree there, right? So when we're setting up our workstation, we want to try to get into a position where we're set up quite nicely with 90 degrees at our elbows, 90 at our hips, 90 at our knees, 90 at our ankles, by creating a chair that's the right height, and then making the keyboard at the right height as well, so that our shoulders are relaxed, the monitor's at the right height, so we're looking straight ahead without looking down. And we try to set ourselves up in a joint position where those main joints are at about 90 degrees. Now, some people are going to say, yeah, but I like to stretch my feet when I sit in my chair. That's fine. We're looking for 70 to 110 degrees. Right in the middle of that is the 90. So find a comfortable position, but overall, you're going to attempt to reach about 90 degrees for those main joints. So that's the second idea. Posture, joint position, and here's the third. It's called spinal curves. So if you take a look at my neck, you can see that there's that bend in. So your neck bends in that way. And then as we get down around your organs, it bends out. So we go around the organs. And then your lower back is going to have that same curve as your neck. And when we get into this nice S shape, the in at the neck, the out at your organs, the in at your lower back, that activates all of your big muscles and it better supports your body. So when you think about lumbar support in your vehicle, for example, that lumbar support is pushing on that curve of your lower back and helping to support it. So we have 3 ideas to better understand neutral positioning: posture, joint position, and spinal curves. To further understand neutral position, let's think about what happens when we're not in neutral position. So here's some more examples. Let's just take a second to think about this quote. Studies indicate that increased musculoskeletal injury rates occur when forces are applied outside a joint's center of gravity. So, I gave you this example, right? Arms at your side, that arrow goes straight down, hits your base of support. But let's say that I was to hold my arm out to the side, like this. That arrow would now shift towards my fingers because gravity is pulling down on my arm. Now that arrow, which is my pointer, my clicker, is going to hit the floor outside of my base of support. So we can think about that in some more real life examples. There's a window washer doing this many, many hours a day, right? His shoulder might get sore because he's having to hold his arm out because gravity is making him hold his arm out, right? This woman opening the door, perhaps she has scoliosis, but nonetheless she's having to stoop over. If she's doing that for a lot of the day, such as if she has scoliosis, her lower back's going to get sore because she's working outside of her base of support. We already had an example of a mechanic. The last example, the car was right in front of him. In this example, he's reaching above his head. And when you reach above your head, same as the window washer, you're having to support your arms outside of your base of support. You're also reaching above your head. He looks like he's lifting a tire. So we have to come up with ways to set up our environments, such as the mechanic lowering the car and working right in front of him. Perhaps having a higher doorknob for this woman so that she doesn't have to reach so low as we try to think about how to design seniors' residence, creating doorknobs that are the height that the seniors need and not necessarily that a regular adult needs. And then perhaps for the window washer, could he move closer to the window? So he's washing the window like this, as opposed to like that, right? We're trying to keep ourselves as close to our base of support as possible. The other picture on this that we're thinking about here is this podiatrist. I did some work with podiatrists probably 5 years ago now. They have some similarities to a dental hygienist or a dentist. So most of us have been to the dentist, not all of us have been to a podiatrist. But what they're doing is that rather than stooping over and working on your mouth, she's going to stoop over and she's going to work on your feet. Same body position as that dental hygienist or that dentist. So we can see here that that blue arrow, the center of gravity for her neck, rather than being straight down the body to the base of support, because she's looking over, it shifts forward like that. And now she's going to develop neck pain because she's having to hold her head up for long periods of time, more so than if she was able to sit up straight. Same thing with the hip, because she's starting to bend over and that lower back curve goes this way. We want it this way, but that lower back curve is going that way. She's stooping over because she's having to get over top of those toes, those feet. That center of gravity for the hip shifts forward, and now her lower back is having to hold her body up. More discomfort, more risk of injury, especially if you do this for many years. In dental hygiene for dentists, they wear something that are called loupes, L-O-U-P-E-S. They are glasses. They look like any other glasses, but they actually have an angled prism in them that allow you to look straight ahead, but then the light reflects up and into your glasses to allow you to look down without putting your head down. So that's an opportunity for professionals that work in these environments to try to keep their body as neutral as possible when they're doing their job. So neutral positioning, there's certainly different ways we can look at it, and then we can apply it in a whole bunch of different environments of people's workplaces and lives. So as we move into the next video, you're going to do a couple of examples for yourself once we end this video. Here is my example so that you know what I'm talking about. So in the next couple of examples that you'll do after this video ends, there's going to be some questions. This first question is to label the center of gravity for the joints at risk. In this example on screen that I'm showing you right now, it's the shoulder. So what is the gravity pulling down on the joint right now? It's going to be that blue arrow, so you would draw in that blue arrow. Label the base of support, you're going to draw in the box underneath, in this case, underneath his feet, because that's where the base of support is. And then his shoulders, that's where you're likely going to get an injury because he's working like this. Maybe he's stocking shelves, maybe he's doing window washing, or maybe you're working at your laptop like this all day long because your laptop is on the far side of the desk because you need it that far away to be able to comfortably see the screen. So there's different reasons why you might end up in this position. But that's what you'll be working on as you go into the workbook before you start the next video. So that's the end of video number 2. The next video is about practicing neutral positioning. So you're going to go and work on that next page, page 3 of your workbook. And then when you start video number 3 coming up, we'll go through the answers to that and discuss more about what happens when you're not in neutral position. Talk to you next time.